You may be wondering, tuning in, what is pirate money? Well, I'll tell you, the founders of this nation put a clause in the Constitution that said that a state could use gold and silver coins as legal tender. And what they were referencing were literally Spanish gold doubloons and Spanish mill dollars, also known as pieces of eight. Those were foreign coins. They weren't minted here in the United States. They weren't a part of our nation. They were foreign coins. What they liked about them is they were reliable versions of gold and silver, and they wanted no unbacked fiat money. They wanted real money, gold and silver. And so they knew it as pirate money, by the way. They knew that a lot of the gold doubloons and pieces of eight that circulated in the United States were captured from Spanish galleons or captured by the British from Spanish or pirates. And yet that was the currency of the realm until we started to mint our own currency. And in fact, it was the currency until the Coinage Act, I think 1857, something like that. Bottom line is that's pirate money. It's put in the Constitution. We walked away from it as a nation, and states still have that authority. It's still in the Constitution. And so just a couple of years ago, Mike and I and some other colleagues, we went to Texas and said, hey, this is in the Constitution. You should do this. We didn't know what we were doing. We were learning the legislative process. We met a couple of state senator, Brian Hughes, and we met a state representative, Mark DeRazio, and said, let's give this a try. And they did. They tried 2 years ago. It did not happen 2 years ago, but that's when I sat here at Liberty Hawk and wrote the book, Pirate Money, and we started distributing copies. Last year, Laurie from our team goes up to a table at the Pro-Family Legislative Network and says, have you ever heard of this? This is a book you should read. And Representative Minnie McClendon and Senator Jim Dotson got copies of it, shared it with their colleagues in Arkansas, and slowly but surely, and Laurie kept staying in touch, and worked it through. And, I'd get a text and say, hey, Kevin, they're voting on this in the committee. I said, well, cool. Hey, Kevin, they're voting on this in the House. Well, that's cool. Voting on the Senate. We watched as she stayed in touch and she kept working with them. I'll tell you what the magic there is. They found someone in the treasurer's office, brilliant guy, who helped them craft the legislation, keep it as simple as possible. And then they worked with the Pro-Family Legislative Network, which is David Barton and Cheryl Barton and Tim Barton and Audrey Decker, and they kept moving it forward. And all of a sudden we wake up and said, hey, we got to pray that the governor signs this. That was a big day.